again, Cumbria. It is like, everyone, oh, look what, first of all, my mom is a grandmother. I mean, how many are you gonna continue to lie about me?
Fuck you, Mike Morse. Fuck off, you useless, untalented piece of shit.
It's almost incomprehensible for a man of my intelligence to ingest. I appreciate penis rings.
Oh, that's a zinger.
Mother, do you think to try and break my bone? Travel in the hospital. No God.
Whap, whap, whap. That's some wet ass pussy.
You ever crank your hard? Who the fuck cares about Gina Visconti?
I don't care. Ooh.
Let me tell you something, Johnny boy. I'm wise to you.
Mike gave me the steamer from Cleveland.
I had a small penis?
Don't want to be ballers if you're not.
You're fat and you talk to moron.
I never had a desire to go into film. Yes. I want to thank my new best friend, Kevin Brennan. Yeah. Oh, John's a alcoholic. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to mention, it doesn't matter, but, it is like, everyone, oh, look what, first of all, my mom is a grandmother.
So Reels is a TSN cocksucker, right?
Brian Cloudy, you are a fucking asshole. Bent finger.
I love young balls.
Penis is 100% right.
Oh, hey, my black slave.
Help my mother get cock. Susanna wasn't going to be you. Now that's Stuttering John. She my cherry pie. Now fuck off. We are done. You're dead to me. You're a fucking loser. Nice breakfast. Joseph Von Garble. Wait. Uh-oh. Wait. Hold on. Let's watch the dues pay you.
You're fat and you talk like a moron.
DabblePoint. A Stuttering John Melendez roundtable discussion.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all to DabblePoint. That's right. And boy, is there ever a need for a weekly roundup than this week in Stuttering John. Joining me as always, the Godfather, Karl Hamburger from WATP.
What is happening? Shuli Egar. Props to John this week. He went
Oh, Aaron, you think you're the biggest embarrassment on the internet? Hold my beer.
So much to talk about. First of all, John has left LA, or has he? Here's my question. The more I think about this, the more the rumors are swirling that is this one of John's brilliant works, that this whole drive across country is all bullshit and he's flying today or tomorrow. What are your thoughts on that, Karl?
It has to be. There's no fucking way this guy's loading a 50-inch TV on his roof and throwing cats in the back seat and driving from LA to New York. It's just not plausible.
Well, but here's the wrinkle in that is if anybody was going to try and do something like this, it would be one John Melendez.
Okay, I will say this. That was definitely the original plan. For sure. Like John, because you saw him work through all the different details, bringing the cats. Oh, wait, I can fly the cats. And he got all the numbers, what it was going to cost him to fly the cats out. That wasn't feasible, even though he's the richest man in the Dabbleverse, but he couldn't afford that for some reason. So I think that, yes, he definitely was planning on driving this thing to New York, but I think he's realized there's no fucking way that's possible, which is why he's ratcheting up I'm going to stop in Oregon, and I'm going to stop in Colorado Springs and Vegas and Illinois and where else? Rochester, obviously. Where else is he going to stop?
But what does he think is going to happen? People are going to start boarding up windows in these places? Like, are people moving out because John's coming for them?
I'm texting with Melton today, and he's like, still no John. Is this guy coming or not? And I said, John said he's going to come to your house. That's how you know he's definitely not going to come to your house. Anything that John declares he's going to do, he's not going to do it.
Absolutely. And he has nobody there that's going to come with him. He's certainly not going to come alone. That's
no. He's got beer sales Billy, or whatever the fuck his Vegas guy is.
Vegas beer sales Jerry.
Yeah. He says he's going to get together with him. That's crazy too, because John was explaining, I was listening to a show yesterday, and he says, all right, tomorrow my buddy's coming over, 8 a.m. It's going to take us about 4 hours, clear this place out. I want to get in my car by noon, get on the road, get to Vegas by 5 or 6 o'clock, and then it's party time. Like, are the cats coming into the casino with you? What do you mean? What do you mean it's party time? You're traveling with 2 cats across the country. How does that work?
I have some breaking news. I've just been handed a letter. It is a actual copy of the cease and desist, a physical copy that has been sent. I'll have to look. Everybody's still on it except Discount Don, so he's still insulted. But
does it cite California or Alabama law? That might be the bad one. We might be getting another. We might have a second one to auction off.
Right.
Blah blah blah. You're a Jew. Blah blah blah. No, it's California.
Okay.
It's California. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I bet the next one fetches a higher price at the auction.
Listen, we'll keep piling them up. They'll all be auctioned off at DabbleCon, August 16th and 17th in Rochester, beautiful Rochester, New York in the summertime. You ain't been to heaven yet. You're gonna. August 16th and 17th, Friday night, the roast of the Dabbleverse. Then we got, I think, some karaoke happening after that.
Saturday.
Saturday during the day. A few podcasts, a little WATP, a little Rico, a little potato Tookie soup action. Oh, did I mention Mr. Anthony Cumia will be with us all weekend, and Missy B. And then Saturday night, we have the granddaddy of them all, the Dabbies, the second annual, followed by the Dabble Dance Party, and all kinds of other hijinks. Get your tickets, get your clothes pissed on. You won't forget it. Neither will we. It is DabbleCon 2. Let's do it.
Yes.
Come on.
Go to carlsoncomedy.com and scroll through the events there. I recommend just get the weekend pass. It saves you money on all 3 events. And then you got tickets for everything. You get your weekend pass, and you're included in everything that we're doing that weekend. And we might even do something Sunday. We're talking about having a whole Dabble brunch maybe at Radio Social. So plan to be there the whole weekend. Come in Thursday, leave Monday. Enjoy it. It's your summer vacation. Spend it with us.
Thank you. We got to get to thank you, everybody, for tuning in. 800 here at the start. Let's get it going. Edward, membering up. Thank you, Edward. Appreciate it. Well, Shuli got called a Jew and Karl. Oh, all right. Well, stop talking to our wives before the show. What can I tell you? Mr. Spittle dropping a dime. Thank you, Spitz. Thank you.
I swallow cum.
Thank me.
I'm a cum pig.
I told Karl he doesn't have to do the double blowjob thing because of the shirt he's wearing. People already
Right, yeah,
assume
it's already covered, yeah.
There's no point in embarrassing yourself anymore. DJ, if John's going to make all these stops on his trip that he claims, it'll be more hilarious than Griswold's trip to Wally World. Well, also this Vegas beer sales Jerry, apparently he's taking in his cats.
Oh, he is?
As well.
Okay.
If he's driving there. So,
right.
I find that very hard to believe that. And again, he's never mentioned any carriers, so I'm just picturing these cats loose in a shitty Mercedes.
Well, he did say on the show yesterday he's getting cat melatonin. So he'll be a little sleepy. He'll be fine.
I gave my kid that once at night by mistake. Coughed up a hairball, didn't go to sleep. Morse verse birthday special was epic today. Yes, it was. Happy birthday, Mike Morse. It's my mom's 70th birthday. She's a big fan. Hi, Mom. Hi, Geek Chorus's mom.
Hi, Geek Chorus's mom.
You have a very talented boy, Mrs. Geek Chorus. Mr. Spittle gifted another 5 and another 1.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, friends. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate that, my friends. Karl, thank God you have PDP. TSN really sucks. They don't take naps over. Oh, wait, wrong week. Crap. I mean, Shuli, I'm so glad you have PDP. WATP sucks with all the napping. Nothing gets done. I got to keep my eye on you, Jay. Cheers to some of my favorite guys in the Dabbleverse. What a great week of content. See you fellas in August. Go Bills.
Yeah, Michael P. was at the first DabbleCon. He can tell you it's going to be a good time. And I have a feeling this one's going to be a lot better.
Oh,
because it won't be 0 degrees outside. I have a feeling that's going to make it a lot better.
Yeah, not only that, but we are overflowing with content as far as, what
Dude,
to...
Can I tell you how cold it was in Rochester at the last DabbleCon? Even Bob Levy's like, I'm not going to have a cigarette.
Yep.
That's how cold it was.
That's how you get him to quit.
I'm kidding. He was chain smoking the entire time outside, but
yeah. And
a normal person.
He's like a chick going to the bathroom. He's like, come with me real quick.
Yeah.
And now I'm out there freezing my balls off. Also, another fun thing this week, John making us all idiots by announcing that he never got fired from his teaching job. Karl, how stupid do you feel, huh?
It's crazy to me because John lives in this revisionist history world of his. And I mentioned this on my show. When he says that he beat me in the debates that we had back last year in August or whenever it was, I think he thinks that's true. Hey, what's up, Bob?
Hey, hold on a second.
I think that John thinks that that's true, that he beat me in those debates. I mean, anyone can go back and watch it and see what really happened. But I also think that John actually thinks that he got over on us with the saying that he got fired from teaching, even though you've been saying it, I've been saying it for months that he's been teaching this whole time.
Yeah, not to mention it's been his battle cry when he's showing everybody what a victim he is. It's been his battle cry of like, these guys cost me my job, they cost me my livelihood.
Dude, it was 3 weeks of his show content was him suing Vince so that Vince would sue me over muttering Jay, and it was all due to him getting fired. This is why his show is worthless. This is why anyone who's watching the show and think it's compelling. It's not. It's just made up bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, I got him fired. Look what he was going to sue me.
Yeah, you're right. He said he has tape of Bob saying that he would get me fired, and that constitutes a lawsuit. This is the same guy that thinks a cease and desist is a lawsuit.
He's bragging about it. He goes, I said Shuli cease and desist, and he's going to get another one. We don't care, John. We love them. Keep them coming. I like reading them. I've read the one he sent to me like 5 times over. I enjoy it.
I was so excited to be able to speak to that attorney and make him miserable on the phone and him just at one point just go, you got to leave the guy alone or what? He just said to me, just leave him alone.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. What's up, Cardiff?
Hello. I mean, bonjour.
Oh, I see you're operating on potato time over here.
Yeah.
I am. Listen, let's just get this out of the way, guys. I
Go
think you've
ahead.
all been wrong about John all this time. I think John's a pretty stand-up dude, and we should all just back off, okay?
Sounds like
Oh.
the bounty has been paid, huh?
I have to tell you what John said on his show yesterday. I couldn't fucking believe he was saying this. And there are times, now look, when we watch John, we're all yelling at the screen, right? I think we all do that.
Absolutely.
I remember when we were hanging down in Largo with Tookie and Cardiff and everyone. We had John up on the screen, and all of us are just yelling shit out. It's like, oh, this is how we all enjoy the show. Okay, cool. But the fact that this fucking hypocrite was talking about people calling his pubs and calling his workplace and the gigs he has, he's just like, you can go on your shows and goof on me. Don't fuck with me in real life. What are you trying to do, ruin someone's life? Why would you do that? The same week, he declared double down on ruining Dr. Steve's life.
Yep.
He has the balls to be like, why would you guys take it to this place? It doesn't need to go there.
And also Spencer Silverstein. Oh, God damn it.
Oh shit. What are you doing, Bob? You crazy old man. No, but he also is threatening the same thing with Cardiff. He's begging like a junkie, like a dope fiend. He's sitting there going, please, I need his name. I'll pay you. I'll suck your dick. Give me his information.
Just one hit.
Yeah.
And I think I've told you both privately, but at 6:30 Eastern time, he was emailing threats to me. So that means at 3:30 in the morning, he was up thinking about the potato.
But it doesn't bother him. Thank God.
Doesn't bother him.
It's amazing.
Well, you made him an offer, though, that you were going to porn bomb my show because you get the link to all the WATPs. And Potato, who are you with on this? And where are your loyalties?
That was a fake Cardiff.
They're all fake Cardiffs. Look at all the Cardiffs behind you. They're all fake.
Listen, I had a brilliant plan for that. I really wish he went for that.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
It had to be better than quad. I mean, that we can all agree on.
My plan had legs.
Yeah, I was gonna say once again, Quadfather couldn't stick the landing.
Well, listen, I mean, let's talk a little bit about Quad. The prank heard round a few places, and it got upset. It got John good. Let's admit that. It caught him at a vulnerable time where it was just like, one more thing was going to break him, and that one more thing was a biggie. So it was good, and we got great content.
Yeah.
We got to see him lose a friend again in real time, but the response from John, this is classic John. This is vintage John Melendez.
I should thank Quadfather. It took him 5.5 months to get me one emergency episode. Thank you for that.
There you go. Job well done. But yeah, I mean, the attacks on Quad, taking his colostomy bag away, putting a stick in his wheels.
I mean, the stick thing I can see, but
that's kind of good. I'll give him that one.
No, but that's not where John started, though. You remember the place where John started was he's locked in his own prison. He's going to die young. People in wheelchairs don't live very long. He's like literally wishing death on a guy immediately.
Enjoy life in your fucking wheelchair prison.
Well, that wasn't enough. He had to go.
Enjoy life in a cage.
Yeah,
that was
in a cage.
And again, did he not raise money for spinal cord research on "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here"?
Yeah, it was for his friend. He was friends with a guy
vaulter.
that was a pole vaulter that wasn't that good at it, and he ended up getting paralyzed. And he talked this guy up like he was a hero. I mean, two guys couldn't jump, and look at the two different ways he goes at them.
Yeah.
I raised a lot of money for you guys. You mind if I take one of yours out?
As Trump would say, heroes hit the mat in my book.
Right. But it is funny. It's like, imagine if one of us had made jokes like that about his friend in the wheelchair, the pole vaulter.
Oh, yeah.
The outrage he would have had on his show for days on end.
Yeah.
How dare they say something about the handicapped community? And, because he wronged him, all bets are off. It doesn't matter what he says. Classic John. I'm a fan of that. This show, hi, Lila Bear. This show is not sponsored by these succulent, spicy, and girthy hargs. We don't align with the Frosted Tips agenda. Still masticate these hargs. Let's
Is that a
leave
police dog?
Yeah, that is. That's my Lila Bear. Hi, baby. She hates Jews. Get off me. All right. Still on the cruise, Quad's wheelchair prison. Spent the last day at the pool bar. Uh-oh.
And you make fun of me for it happening to me, shitwaya.
It's the camera. It's not the screen. The screen doesn't move. Still on the cruise. Spent the last day at the pool bar and caught up on all this. Thanks for all the laughs. My next trip is to DabbleCon 2.
Wow.
Let's go.
Unfortunately, the Carlson is not wheelchair accessible.
Guess who's coming? Whatnot Chaser.
Whoa.
I told him, I said, if you come, I'll get you a room.
Wow.
Enjoy life in a cage.
Whatnot Chaser. Enjoy that.
He
Bet
wants
Ronnie
to
is
sleep at the foot of my bed, but I can't.
no. Bet Ronnie is happy to have COVID so he doesn't see SJ.
Oh, man, maybe he made that up.
Yeah, smart. He did. Shuli, can you poop onto the CD and then weigh it? Oh, the cease and desist. Yes.
Wait, hold on. I didn't catch that. So Ronnie Munn claims he has COVID right now.
I guess.
I
Yeah.
don't know. They cut my subscription off.
Okay, because honestly, I don't know why I didn't even think about this. John's talking about going to Vegas over and over again. He never brought up visiting Ronnie, who's his good friend. That's interesting, right? He's hanging out with the beer sales guy, and he's going to Patrick Melton's house, but he's not getting together with Ronnie.
Wow, the guy who didn't invite him to the wedding, his good friend.
Yeah,
Wow,
weird.
That's weird. Baby Satchmo got my DabbleCon 2 VIP ticket. Let's fucking go. See you Nogas there. Hotel recommendations, Karl?
Yeah, the Strath Allen is probably one of the nicer hotels. I know that's where Anthony and Missy stayed, and Dr. Steve last year. A lot of the people who came to the show stayed at the Strath Allen.
Will he be taking out his finger out of Tookie's ass to reverse the curse from John?
Oh,
Maybe.
interesting. A reverse prostate exam.
Mm-hmm.
Like it.
I like
Like
it.
it.
But
Then it's even.
then it's even.
All right, I'm in. Those cats are at a shelter or behind a dumpster. Hopefully,
You guys are wrong. Tukey has to finger Dr. Steve now. That's the only way to.
To get the curse off.
Okay.
But you
definitely
really
in.
think he's like, look, even if he was broke, I can't see taking this ride. This is
No.
insanity.
We were saying I don't think he's doing it, but if anybody was dumb enough to try this, it's John. So that's the only wrinkle. That's the only reason why I'm not 100% sure that he's not driving.
Yeah,
He's flying.
a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people say what could go wrong. Basically, everything on a trip like this. So,
What could go right? Yeah.
yeah, nothing's gonna go right. Nothing's gonna make you go that it's going perfect. It's a horrible thing to do.
Which would mean then, in theory, that this car he got for his kid is really just his car.
He had to go to U-Haul. He had to go to U-Haul to
Yeah,
get a
okay.
car.
Let's talk about that. So he bought a car for Lily. Where does Lily
Yeah.
live?
So
In Oregon, right?
no, that's the oldest lives in Oregon. Night.
Okay.
Lily, I think, is in the east
Massachusetts.
somewhere. Yeah,
Okay.
northeast.
So he went to a car dealership to buy a car for her in Massachusetts?
Well, she
No,
could
she-
drive it all the way home because she was probably at the graduation.
Oh, she was down with the
She-
graduation. Okay.
Yes, she was at the graduation that John went to and saw none of them, and so I'm sure. Look, it's the only way he can get contact. You understand?
It's amazing that he got there late to his son's graduation.
Yes.
I was at a Stern event in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I found out my son was graduating from fucking maybe kindergarten or the one before that and having a thing. I flew out early to
He
be
did.
there. You know,
I remember.
And it's like,
Bob-
are you going to tell me you're fucking going to go late? or
It's
something?
crazier than that. It's crazier than that because I was noticing what John's day was yesterday. So he had the graduation at 9 a.m. and he was late, but it wasn't his fault. His buddy Helicopter and Helicopter's kids were going too, and they took forever to get ready. So again, it's never John's fault, but he was late. He had to sit on the bleachers all the way out in the back, away from everything else. But then he went to a steakhouse, and his buddies were treating him as a going away present to prime rib dinner. He got there an hour and a half early. So it's amazing like, when they're serving beer at a place, he can get there very early. But when it's his son's graduation, we'll get there when we get there.
But why?
Remember,
Why
he was up
would
at
you?
3:30 that morning.
Yeah,
As I said.
right.
Wow.
Didn't sleep
But
in.
why wouldn't you not go yourself if everything was running late, and the reason was he wasn't invited, and
That's
somebody
right.
else was able to get him in.
That's right.
He even said that his wife was sitting right up in the front. She had a great seat. I don't even think he had contact with this kid at this thing. He's just like looking out from afar and getting very teary-eyed too, because he's such an emotional, amazing father. He's thinking back at all the amazing things he did to make sure that his son is doing as well as he is now.
Yeah, and that's the saddest thing that can happen in life. Is your kid just
He's yelling "skull" from the bleachers. You think? Maybe he's yelling,
You fucking quadriplegic bullshit.
Gents, what a week, says Carol Dillon. For that 1 second, I felt for John, but then he single-handedly ruined it yet again with those nasty insults. Stuttering John's life in a nutshell. And speaking of almost ruining it, back on track, then for sure ruining it, his beef with Dr. Steve.
Oh,
and
God.
we had a lovely little pop-in visit from one Mr. Anthony Cumia last night, and he literally put out a call to all pests, retired and still active, to get to work and to defend one Dr. Steve, in honor of Dr. Steve, to attack Stuttering John. And I know you're a lifelong O&A fan. Thoughts on that, Karl?
So the crazy thing about how dumb John is that even when his friends, the Leo Guns and the Clay Dabblers and the Dirty Deeds, even when his friends all go, don't go after Dr. Steve. You really shouldn't. Everyone loves him. He didn't do anything to you. That does not stop John at all. He doesn't even second think. He doesn't think about it for, a second thought and go, what am I trying to accomplish with ruining Dr. Steve? It's going to be a bad look for me. No, he doubles down on it. And he's blocking everyone now. Like, he just had a serious meltdown on this. And, Dr. Steve, of course, because he's such a nice guy, reached out to John directly to hash it out. I wish Dr. Steve would just fucking do the same thing that Anthony did yesterday and sick the pests out of him, but that's not his nature.
Yeah. They'll all answer that battle cry, believe me. But it reminds me that the Great Baloney Factory put this together. I wanted to show this real quick.
So don't you tell me, Clay Dabbler, what I'm allowed to do. Don't you tell me, Jessica Flycat, who I'm allowed to be friends with.
It's a grown man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you tell me, Sunflower Dragon.
It's also a grown man who tells other grown men who to be friends with. That's the best part.
100%. Yeah. You're moderating for who? Goodbye.
So one of my kids gave my youngest son a card, and he didn't know, do I start from the right or the left? And they said, I think they said start from the left or whatever, they said it's not a manga.
A manga.
A manga. This is interesting because a lot of people have asked, what's the origin of that?
What is a manga?
What is a manga? The Great Baloney Factory, ladies and gentlemen.
What kind of bird was he trying to look like? With that hair?
Please make that shirt stop, says Seven Large Army. Barnes
Just
and New.
do it.
Dummy's
That's
eyes
gayer than just do it, that shirt.
Dummy's eyes were the most bloodshot I've ever seen this week. I pictured him lying on his disgusting couch in the fetal position, weeping right before he clicked go live. Well, the fetal position, we've learned, is the way he sleeps. And I have a statement from a former fling that claims she saw him in the fetal position sucking his thumb at night. Yes.
Right.
So another win for anyone but John. Allie and Tony do improv. Breaking news. Time for some good news. 5 more weeks. The beautiful Jenna and our favorite frog, our godmother and godfather. Will you be the other godfather? You're a pivotal part mine and Tony's life. Hi, Karl. #baby watch. Who are you asking, Karl or me or the potato or Bob?
I'm in.
Or the dog?
We're all in. We're all going to be the kids' god. We're in. Carl's going to be the godmother with that shirt, but we're all the godfathers.
Oh, really? Oh, really, Shuli? Oh, really?
Oh, sometimes I can't argue with what people say. No.
And you're right. You're right. Am I right?
Am I right? Beavis Lee Ray, Stuttering John, I'm not hateful in any way, you piece of shit. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to travel to other state lines to beat a loser in a wheelchair, attempt to have them arrested, then try to stop disability income.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
it's never enough. It's never enough for him. It's never like he can never be like, whatever. So the fucking idiot.
and nobody's even tried on John and his family, and it could be so brutal. He thinks a PI is nothing to some people out there.
Well, let's talk about John's revenge fantasies. Now,
yes.
This is a childish thing to do. To think you're going to beat people up and ruin their lives, and Dr. Steve won't be able to practice medicine anymore, and I'll show him. And to have those types of fantasies is crazy. You should be institutionalized. You're a mental patient for having those. But then to go on your show and articulate them out loud and explain to people you're having these revenge fantasies tells me the guy has a personality disorder.
Yeah, totally. If I was mad at Quad, I would be like, I'm going to hit you so hard you're going to walk. You're going to be able to fucking stand. You're going to play basketball. You're going to be fucking good at it. I'm going to fuck you up so bad. But he takes it to like, it's evil. It's actually evil.
Yes. Right. But the punishment doesn't fit the crime. If John had got a strike, his channel went down for a couple weeks or permanently banned, I'm not saying he's right, but I can understand that level of anger, having your livelihood taken from you, even though he tried that with every one of us. He tried to do that
and
to every one of us.
And he doesn't need it anyway, the money. So,
Right.
Well,
he's a million.
It's the drink bleach response.
Yeah. So I went back. We're doing this new series on our Patreon. Or if you remember on YouTube, you get this Living in the Past with Stuttering John Melendez, it's called. And we're going back, we're listening to the episodes he put out in 2018 of the Stuttering John podcast. And the very first one I could find, the oldest one I could find still on the internet, John is talking about Anthony and Artie reviewing the reviews for John's movie, One Too Many.
Okay.
And John declares in this episode, this is going back 6 years ago, over 6 years ago, he goes, Artie's a bully, and I learned the way you deal with a bully is you punch him in the balls. You go after the worst thing you could possibly go after when they bully you. And that's John's mentality, is what it's always been, is that if Artie Lang says, hey, some people think your movie wasn't very good, you tell him to stab himself again and drink bleach.
Right. Or is that in your stand-up act? That was the line. He goes, is that joke in your act? And then he lost it. And
it's crazy because all John gets is negative reinforcement for people. Don't do that. It's not working. You're not winning when you do that, and he'll never learn. John's declaring himself a genius. I can't use computers at all, but I'm a genius. Geniuses continue to learn throughout their lives. That's what makes them a genius.
And it makes you, it's almost having like Asperger's or something, being a genius, all that kind of stuff. Because anything you do, you will learn it. You will figure it out because it's an obsession with your mind.
Yeah. It's like the way you love cigarettes. They love getting smarter.
Exactly.
Exactly. Have we really explored what a catalyst Chrissy is? She coined the term dabbler and also introduced the Mholtz and the Ricadas. She's like a midwife for middlers and morons. The great Nan Cram. Thank you. Can I get a WATP studio background? I just bought a green screen and camera, and I'm considering becoming the world's worst dabbler.
This is the background for the Dabbleverse. So email me. I'll send it to you.
Thank you. Sheet Shitterson. I mean, talk about doing some brilliant work. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you're on the YouTube of Sheet Shitterson, but I'm a big fan.
Me too.
Big fan. So much going on this week in the Dabbleverse, but one of my favorite under the radar stories is Stuttering John said he batted something like 250 in Little League. That sucks. First of all, I believe he said 3 something. I think it was originally
360.
370, I think. 360, 370. So, I mean, it's insane.
Even the kids who suck can bat 370 in Little League because no one can field. If you make contact with the ball, you usually get on base. That's how it works. But did you see that Sheet Shitterson, I think it was him, found the video of John playing in some celebrity softball game? It's the greatest thing. He couldn't get the ball out of the infield. And he acts like he's like this amazing baseball player. He couldn't run. He couldn't hit.
And
I
when
did
was
that,
that
I
from?
did that on Potato Soup a few months ago. I broke it down. I had him side by side with a 10-year-old swinging a bat, and it was fantastic.
When was that from? What year was that video?
I think it was
from?
2016. It was some charity thing in LA.
Okay, you should still be able to swing.
He should be
know?
better. Yeah.
Well, it's softball.
Well, no, he swung. The problem was he swung like someone who's never swung a bat before.
Yes. And he loves to talk about how he can punch, and it's all about the torque. It's all about using your hips. He swings with just his bony little arms, and he makes contact.
Yeah.
He just bounces. It's like a bunt every time in softball.
Do you have it, Cardiff? You have that video?
I've got
We
it
have,
somewhere,
we'll play the Sheet Shitterson tonight
There you
on Rico. We'll watch it. But he gets on base. I will say that because he bunts in a softball game. That's how he got on base.
He was 1 for 4. That's his 250 right there.
Oh my God, Shuli, sorry. Oh, Shuli, sorry I'm late. I was putting more minutes on my whore phone. Glad to see you celebrate Pride Month by having Karl on. Shout out to Mrs. Arthur.
Thanks, Ira. I should mention, since you brought that up, on the Creep Off, the show I do with Vinnie Paulino, the only true crime show made for men, we are celebrating Pride Month this month. And so, every week we have a different category, and we find the biggest creep in that category. This past week we did L's. This week coming up, we're doing G's. So we're going to hit all the letters of the alphabet to celebrate Pride Month.
Oh, I like that.
Next month they're doing July.
It's not a bad idea. I might steal that.
I was actually going to send it to you guys.
That's a good idea.
I like the thoughts you have in your free time, son of a bitch.
John told me that one.
Dang lizard. Cat's in the car. He's drinking. He'll wake up midday, hungover. He'll open his car. A smell worse than him. Dessert frozen and cooked cat. Yep. Whatnot Chaser. Mr. Carlo, what hotel do you recommend for DabbleCon?
Strathallan for sure. But I will tell you, and I don't stay in hotels in Rochester. I have a house here. But I always prefer when I go to cities is to find an Airbnb because then you're actually a part of the community more. You're not just in a hotel district. You're in a neighborhood.
That's right. You can get robbed easier is what Karl's saying. Right. So everybody do that. We're doing that. John is a see you next Tuesday. Susanner. Yes, Marauder.
Curtis, can you read those emails you got from John at 3:30 a.m.?
Oh, yeah. What did it say?
Yeah, hold on.
It was threatening you. All right, you can go back to Super Chats. Find that.
How much of what he says is delusions? How much is pure bravado with him hoping someone will believe him or him trying to convince himself? Great question. I'm thinking.
This is the thing that I've been studying lately because I've never met a narcissist like John. Like, he checks every box. It's really incredible. So delusion is probably the best word. Mm-hmm. Like I said, when he says shit that's blatantly false, I think he believes it.
Not only do I think he believes it, but every ounce of energy he's putting into that is to make sure everyone else believes it.
Well, people around him for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He wants people to go, did you hear what John said? He's right. Let's go with John.
You know what I'd pay $1,000 for? John's conversation at the pub after we did our first head-to-head debate. So I'm talking to this guy on the internet. You should see it, man. I crushed this guy. I'm just making point after point. He didn't know what to say.
I didn't know how delusional and mentally ill this guy truly was until he played that clip on his show of me and him arguing, and he's mouthing along with everything because he's watched it 100 times.
Yeah.
And that was another one where it was like I was calm, I was making jokes, I was just having a conversation. He was screaming, threw me off, and then goes, well, he couldn't hang. I beat him. Yep. That's he'll take his victory any way he can get it, but he'll never take a loss, ever. The 4 horsemen of the Dabbleverse. Have a great weekend, fellas. Thank you, Bill.
You too.
Thank you for the 10 months. Magellan, gifting 5. Thank you. You guys will get to see how I react to John clips firsthand when August comes. Have security standing by. Skull.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the Dabbies.
It's going to be a rowdy group, I think.
Very interactive.
Yes.
Very interactive. And I like that. Hearing people dry heave during grossest moment nominee.
Oh, and I had a meeting yesterday with Vinnie Paulino. Now, Last year when we did it, we had the TV screens all set up, and it was great. Everything worked really well. It's going to be even better this year. They have new tech. They have new screens and cameras, and it's going to be great.
It. Oh, fantastic. Grandpa, when I grow up, I want to be called Johnny Trash. That was a funny story he told. Watching TV with his grandpa, watching Johnny Cash, and he goes, I want to be called Johnny Money. That was his big fucking unbelievable. Dr. Steve was a good guy.
Always a hack.
Always. Oh, from birth. Dr. Steve was a good guy, but offering to help a drunk get sober is quite despicable. But credit to Stuttering John for finally making Steve apologize for Myrtle.
Thanks, that Aussie guy.
Thank you, Aussie guy. Shuli, is that dog licensed? I can't get into it, Dave. I can't. The Looney Tunes critic with $50. He's going to be at DabbleCon.
Nice.
This week was intense on the first day. Wednesday, we saw the cease and desist delivery, the banning of Clay, the 100% disappearance of Quad from John's side, and that's when the first Dr. Steve FU happened. You need more guests. Someone call Aunt and Missy. Excellent point about everything that Clay now on the outs.
Yeah.
And Clay's upset about it too. So what was the reasoning? I know it was because he was a moderator for Vince.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that on purpose, right? Like Vince just makes people
Vince
moderators.
put him in, yeah. And he did nothing to get John mad. He did nothing.
But he was playing with Vince. He would like say he loved Vince on John's show, and John walked away once and he put up a picture of Vince or something.
He had a t-shirt. He had a Vince shirt or
t-shirt.
something like that.
Right.
But did Clay also tell John to lay off the Dr. Steve stuff? I think he did,
Yes,
right?
he did.
Yes.
Okay. So that was 2 strikes and you're out.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is the day before that, he had no problem with Clay being a fan of Vince. And then the day after he was told, hey, maybe you shouldn't go after Dr. Steve, all of a sudden, you're a moderator for him or me. It was the gayest back and forth on Twitter since Karl's shirt. I mean, it was unbelievable.
His shirt is not on Twitter, asshole.
It will be after today's show.
Good point. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Is that glow in the dark?
We turn off the lights and find out.
It seems like it is.
That's Levy's oldest. That's Levy's oldest pickup line, by the way. Let's turn out the lights and find out. Yeah. John has the charm of Frank Reynolds, the empathy of Dennis, the lifestyle of Charlie, and the self-awareness of Mac.
Yes.
I use my underwear to wipe. Beautiful. Stop moving your mic, Bobby.
It fell off of the thing. It's gone. Look, it's gone.
Oh, no.
Okay, so I have it in a candle right now in front of me. Look, hold on.
Mr. Fix It. Look at
These
it.
guys are using candles for mic stands, and they're making fun of me.
Right.
John picked the worst time to take a hiatus.
Yeah.
Road trip. He would have loved this.
Proof they don't make any money. Levy's using a candle mic.
Can you light the candle, Bob?
Yeah. Looney Tunes critic dropping a dime. Let's go.
I swallow cum.
Thank me. How are you, penis? I haven't seen you in a while.
Easy, John. It's a family show. Any market for rides on my... Oh, John's dead arm. Any market for rides on my arm at DabbleCon 2? If so, I'll bring a bunch of plastic wrap to keep things together. Keep things kosher, sorry.
Keep that shit away from me.
I have a little putting green that's Stuttering John themed from the great Lockie, the artist.
He does great work.
And I believe he's working on a cornhole thing, too, for people to be able to play at DabbleCon 2. He's working on a few things. He's a brilliant, brilliant artist.
Awesome.
Yeah, find him. Support him.
Dr. Omega Tattoo on Instagram.
Dr. Omega Tattoo on Instagram. Thank you. What were you saying, Bob? Sorry.
We're going to have a garbage can to throw beers into.
Yeah, we're going to have a shoot your beer into the garbage can contest.
We should probably give the servers a heads up on that.
No, man. What you see is what you want to make tips. Move.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? You know how happy they would be if people were throwing half-empty beer cans and they double their beer sales.
I tell you, I talked to a few of the staff members after B. Dabbler was there with his feathered boa, and they were thrilled that they had to pick up feathers in the showroom after the show. Cardiff, sour cream or cottage cheese consistency?
Cottage cheese. Next question.
He likes it lumpy.
I get a little
Gonna miss
lumpy.
DabbleCon because of a cousin's stupid wedding. Make sure Bob behaves himself. He has a hair trigger. I
What's
will.
up? What's up, buddy? Hope you're well.
How pissed is Red 473 if that marriage ends in a divorce in like 6 months?
Oh, God.
Well, I was going to say, your cousin doesn't care if you come to the wedding or not, but we do care if you come to DabbleCon or not.
Yeah.
So prioritize. Come on.
And it's a cousin. Like, we'll stop talking to you. He has to keep in touch with
Right.
you. You know? Is Cars for Kids having a sale? And for John? I don't know. Maybe. Breaking news, Canoga Park apartment. 2 cats locked the owner out of a 2003 Mercedes. Details at 11. Thank you, Snot Rock.
Did you guys see the Photoshop of, what is it? Tukis the driving cat? What was that from? Saturday Night Live? Tukis driving John.
There was another one. Chuckster made a great one, boys. I think we put it on the show last night. But if it's in Discord, throw it up there. I want this drive to be real so bad. So bad. I really do.
It shouldn't happen. It just shouldn't happen. Legally,
Everything on paper says no. Don't do it. ESPN has Skip Bayless. Dabbleverse has Karl Gay Tips. I like it. I like it.
If anyone else is creating, can we get a Ford Fiesta, a 1984 Ford Fiesta in a giant trap with a lily bow on it?
Oh, that's Ryder.
That's so great. The license plate Ryder is the
That's
best.
great.
It's amazing.
Hey Nick, thank you for the 3 months. I love that you're going to profit off the cease and desist by auctioning them off. It will make Stuttering John crazy. Thanks for the free money, John. Yeah, keep them coming. Dream Man, his hair looks like a lollipop that was dropped in carpet. This was the best Dabbleverse season finale ever.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what? You're right. This week kind of was the season finale, right? He's leaving LA. We're starting up a new season next week.
yeah.
It sets up DabbleCon perfectly.
Yep.
Yes, it does. Oh my
He comes
God.
back next season. He's living on a cruise ship for some reason. No explanation.
just a sailboat, not even on a cruise ship, just like a 2-man sailboat. Got time. Oh, Hugh Essay. Got timed out on this account and my alt for telling super chats to stop sending John money. Super chatters. The Tookie Taliban will not cease our glorious jihad against Stuttering John. There you go. Lady K, if Drew Lane approved of your shirt, so goes Detroit. Don't take any craps. Go.
I do check with Drew on all of my outfit options. Thank you.
Does he talk to you like Brian Karam talked to John the other day? Or he's like, yeah, okay, yeah, we were there. Yeah, all right. Bye, John.
Can you imagine? He's like, I think I heard that on your show last night. Brian's like, oh, you want me to come on your show? I mean, we're talking right now. It's just like so obvious. He's wildly inconveniencing the guy. And John's like, yeah, I'll send you the link.
And yeah, go ahead, Carter.
So I saw that clip after, and there was. I wish we got to it. When we were doing the Tookie soup, potato soup crossover, we never got that far in the video. But when he said he had this little tidbit, he's like, yeah, and so he said I was at the pub with Brian and his wife, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So I was at the pub with Brian and his wife.
No.
But at one point he said, and Brian, and what did I come over and take from your table? An onion ring.
Yeah.
But your table, John was on the
He
other
wasn't
side of
with
the
them.
bar. They were in the same building at the same time. They weren't hanging out.
They went
there
there to
together.
have lunch, and John ended up being there, of course. So
Well,
They thought-
it's funny
They thought
because
John left already. They thought he's out of LA already. It's safe.
it totally backfired on him. He goes, well, I'm going to show you how good friends I am with these people. Let me bring them in here and we'll talk about how we were all hanging out there. And the guy's like, yeah, no, we got there before you. We were just eating. You just happened to show up. And yeah. And like you said, with the table thing, he's somewhere else. I mean,
Guys, I remember back when I was doing my podcast when I first started, and most of the content I was doing was proving I had friends and that I had lunch with colleagues and friends. But I outgrew that. And I moved on to making fun of podcasts.
But how annoying is it? What's the most annoying thing when you're eating? When somebody comes and takes your food.
Yes.
Like, it's like,
I don't want your fingers in there. I don't know where, I mean, I've seen where John's been. I know he doesn't wash his hands after shitting. Like, get away from my onion rings, asshole. Or take them off.
Whose fingers would you let grab your onion ring? Jake Hudson or Stuttering John?
Oh, Jake, for sure.
God. All right.
Sure.
I'd fuck Jake Hudson. I'd kill.
Bob goes for sure.
I'd fuck Jake Hudson. I'd feed Jake Hudson.
Happy birthday, Mike Morse. Clay Morse drop, please. Please.
Oh, fuck Mike.
Fuck you, Mike Morse. Fuck off, you useless, untalented piece of shit.
What's next for Clay Dabbler? Where is he going to go to?
He's still begging to come back to John. He's on there on Twitter humiliating himself.
So if John won't have him back, what's his next move? He's a very talented broadcaster, obviously. Maybe he starts his own show, starts his own network.
I didn't know you were going to say... I didn't know you were going to say broadcaster after talented. I agree with the talented part. Broadcasting, here's what I say. Put on some nice background music, no microphone, go live on your YouTube channel and make your figures and just watch people have people watch you make these figures. Look.
Oh, wait, we're giving out real advice on this show now? Holy shit, I wasn't ready for that.
I think that would be
You're right.
fascinating.
No, you're right.
It would be.
As a pothead, just catching that at midnight and just like, let's see what this.
Well, I didn't want to announce the new show in Levyverse.
Oh! So Bob's gonna get Corn Diff making 3D models and Clay Dabbler making.
It's gonna
Clay
be gay
figures.
with Clay.
Yes. Can I come out and make Lego shit?
Bad decisions on buying shirts.
Karl.
Me and my wife are playing with Legos.
Aku, Judges 119, God was defeated by chariots of iron. Amen. Don't tell me who to be friends with. John said that? Yeah, exactly. Isn't that interesting?
Crazy.
How would Stuttering John react if his kids petitioned to court to change their last name to Aaron's? Ooh.
Well, he wouldn't bring it up. That's for damn sure.
Oh,
and if you brought it up, you would get blocked.
Wow.
I mean, Aaron must be proud because he was around a lot of that, you know. So
Most
he
of
should
it.
be, yeah.
a lot.
He was a pillar in where this kid ended up.
And Aaron's an actual educator, unlike
Right.
John, who pretends he taught for 5 years and has a pension.
And where did John go out to eat with his son afterwards to celebrate?
Which
Oh, you mean
Queen?
the other guy's kids that he rode with?
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know where
right.
they went to. Yeah.
Don't they usually have a party afterwards?
Yeah, they do. The family.
Right.
They do. Yeah. I have a bald head, a potato-shaped body, a son named Dom, a mom wife 4 years older than me, and a dad who only drank light beer. What do I see in this? How about everything, right, Nick?
There's our target audience right there.
Yeah. Hey, Maudiff. This Stuttering John guy sounds perfectly reasonable to me.
Mouth.
Oh, a little $5 cherry pie for Stacy Allen, please. Thank you. Allen.
Cherry pie for Stacy Allen Frog. She's my cherry pie. Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, I thought it cut off there.
I don't know the rest. Go.
The guy can't get anything right. Little League 270 batting average, more like 170 IQ, 160, more like 1.6. The guy can't even use a computer.
Oh, let's talk about this. We're talking about
Yeah.
exaggerations. And Shuli, you pointed it out perfectly when John just the other day was talking about how he got fired from his job teaching, and the next day he goes, "Ha ha, I was lying." It's like, look how easy this guy lies. It just rolls right off his tongue. John claims that he negotiated with the principal of his high school to make $10,000 performing at a battle of the bands. I actually got a note from a guy who went to high school with John who was saying what a douche he was even back then.
Of course.
But the idea, and someone did the calculation on Dabblers Anonymous, $10,000 in 1983 is worth like $31,500
Right.
today.
Wow.
Right.
And the fact that John would think that we'd believe he made $10,000 in 1983 performing with a stupid fucking band is insane.
More and more of his lies now are little kid type lies.
Yes.
Like they used to be more complex and stuff that you really couldn't fact check or research. You just kind of had to just go, well, I mean, it's what he says. I don't believe it. But now so much of his stuff is so easy to bust him on, and they're just getting worse and worse. Like, it's crazy.
I'm blanking on his name, but the guy on Twitter is going back and finding all the old episodes of John and pulling clips.
Vitamin Dealer.
Vitamin Dealer, yes.
Yeah.
So he actually found the clip of John telling Royce that on his old show years ago that he made $10,000 in the Battle of the Bands. So again, I think John believes that to be true. I think that he thinks that actually happened.
Agree.
Because why else would you have that in your head for 6+ years to be repeating that story over and over again?
And any kid that was looking for money, like was the curb looker down kid.
You're right. He talked the other day about walking the streets looking for money.
Yeah,
that family was totally poor.
Yeah, and totally not interested in what the fuck their kids were doing.
And even he said that too. And a couple times I found money in a Sucrets box. A couple times you found money in a Sucrets box?
What are the odds of that? Go on, let's make a deal, you fuck with that.
Yeah. What are the odds of finding money in a Sucrets box once, much less twice? And why are you just picking up Sucrets boxes off the ground? Fucking garbage collector over there.
By the way, just that graduation that John was late for was 6 miles from his front door.
Oh, God. But he had to go with this other person. That person held him up, so it's not his fault. He would have been there on time.
But he didn't have a ticket. He didn't have an invite.
There's always people are always trying to keep my man down, man. You know, it's a struggle.
Listen to this excuse. I was out riding my bike today listening to this. So I wasn't like writing down notes, but I'm just remembering this as we talk about it.
Did you wear a helmet?
No, I don't wear a helmet.
Was it a pink helmet?
I don't wear a helmet when I ride my bike. My primary care physician was not happy with me when I told her that. But all right, when you fall off a bike, you don't hit your head. All right, you scrape your elbow, you hit your knee. You don't. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that John explains that he gets to the graduation and they got there last minute. So there were not a lot of seats. There were just some seats in the back, but it was raining. And so the seats were wet. So that's why they sat on the bleachers. Wouldn't the bleachers also be wet if it's raining out? Like, what the fuck kind of logic is that? Like, these lies that he tells you, just like, yeah, but that doesn't even make sense. What do you mean? And that's why you had to sit in the bleacher all the way in the back.
Because yeah, go ahead.
By the way, I have screenshots of the crowd. There were lots of empty seats.
Yeah. So why isn't he sitting in them? Why did he get closer?
For one. He just needs a spot for one.
This kid couldn't even sell out.
But also keep in mind, Karl, a lot of these lies he's telling to other drunks at a bar that don't give a shit and are just waiting for him to stop talking, saying, go, cool, and then chug their fucking beer again.
Yeah.
So it works on them because they don't care.
Well, they're probably telling lies too. Like when Cardiff said he pitched for the Pittsburgh Pirates for an inning and a half in '98.
It's true.
You didn't?
He didn't.
Cardiff, do you have those emails that you can read to us?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so just to set this up, because there's new viewers right now. So this was what, last night?
No, so this was yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning.
6:55 Eastern.
So 3:55.
So it's
Pacific.
4 a.m. for Stuttering John, and he's sending emails to Cardiff.
So there are some I'm not going to read, and there's reasons I won't, that it's to protect my identity.
Okay.
But too late, Mr. Blank. You fucked with my family. You're fucked. Actually, sorry, before that, I wrote to him, back off my identity and I help you porn bomb Shuli or Karl.
Yes.
I get links almost every show.
That's
his response.
That's the start of this.
His response was, too late, Mr. Blank. You fucked with my family. You're fucked.
Can you tell us what your plan was going to be to porn bomb our shows? Or
no, because I'm
You
sure
still
I still might have a chance to do it. So.
Okay, fair enough.
We're giving away the plan right in front of him, and it won't matter. We can still pull it off.
I responded to him because I was taking a shit at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I responded to him. You better stop now before I go nuclear. Nuclear. It's pronounced nuclear.
No one in Minnesota can pronounce that word. Don't worry about it.
No.
And he responds a couple minutes later, it's the other way around. You are my bitch. And then he sends another one right after. Again, he sends one line and sends. And then a minute later, I will be relentless. Expect frequent visits from my friends in blank.
Oh.
Okay.
And then he barely has friends in LA, and he's been there 15 years.
Yeah, good point.
You
now,
know.
now all of a sudden he knows the Maple Leafs. Okay.
Right.
Guy Domies at my house.
So maybe I should add the time to this. So at 7:39, it's the other way around. You are my bitch. At 7:39, there was another one. I will be relentless. Expect frequent visits from my friends in blank. 7:40, trust me. And no, I haven't responded to anything yet. 7:40, trust me. You have had free reign behind your stupid filter. Now you are fucked. I replied to him with something I won't repeat. And then he said, LOL, good. Can't wait to post pictures of all of you. Then at...
that posting pictures is like his favorite thing to do.
Yeah,
Just like,
he loves it.
Oh, they're talking about me? Look at this. This is a photo of Karl's wife who's on his show all the time and everyone's seen.
He's like that annoying parent that wants to show you pictures of their kids, except all his kids are everybody else. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't give a shit about your kids. You think I'm going to give a shit about what the potato looks like?
That's essentially it. At 4 a.m.
Wow.
On the day of the
So in case
graduation,
anyone
that's what he
thinks that John's putting on an act and he's just acting like he's all fired up when he's doing his show, this is 24/7. This is how he lives his life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The happiest people in California right now are whoever lives next door to that fucking asshole
God.
and above him. Who
do you think was helping him move out today? It's all the other people in that unit.
I bet they got there early.
Yeah. I see the whole complex making like a chain, and they're just
grabbing the stuff.
Yeah.
Mr. John, we're ready.
Mother, today's the day he moves out, Mother. We have to set the alarm.
They're dancing in their living room. What's the over-under on the number of showers Stuttering John takes during his trek cross country? I mean, if he's actually driving, 0.
Well, so I know a little something about how Vegas works. 0.5 would be the over-under.
Okay. All right.
Right.
But the thing is, because we're all assuming, all right, Vegas, okay, I'll change it. I'll say 1, because Vegas, he'll shower.
Well, right, the 0.5 is the over-under, so you're taking the over. I get it.
Right. And then, but after that, if he's driving, I think Zen brought this up, and it was a good point. He'll be sleeping in his car. He'll try to save money and not get hotels.
In the parking lot of whatever pub he was at, yes.
Right, exactly.
You guys okay with overnight parking? Because, I don't want to drive drunk. I mean, I'm going to take a nap.
If the keys aren't in the ignition, it's all good, man.
But if he's drinking, how long would you want to, he's not going to be able to drive too long. He's going to wake up and feel like shit. And he's going to be like, after 3 hours, he's going to be like, fuck, I can't do this.
Well, that's why I don't believe he's driving, because we all know how dependent he is. He's addicted. And so I know for a fact after his shows, while he's showing, the mediators and the therapists and whoever else he wants to show clips to from these shows, that he's drinking only non-alcoholic fluids the whole show. As soon as that show ends, he's getting hammered. I know it for a fact, Jack.
Also, his car's so old, it doesn't have Bluetooth. So
no.
How's he even know where he's going? He's probably got MapQuest printed out.
Oh, God. It just starts flying out the window with the cat.
John's car, sick cats. Maybe he's taking Greyhound. That would be smarter.
Oh, interesting.
Or a train, yeah. Oh, let me tell you something.
That's hypocritical. the snaggletooth talking about my lack of Bluetooth.
Yeah, I know a lot about tooth over here.
Dave Daffler, Cardiff, what's your name and address? Stay tuned. We'll reveal it tonight on Rico. Sorcerer told me he's making...
What tier?
Yeah.
Is that a tier 2?
It's tier 2. We only got 2. John has 3, and he'll meet you for a beer in all 3 of them, by the way.
I texted Cardiff. I said, "I'm sorry, but $500 is $500."
Yeah.
I put my offer out. I'll pay 6.
There you go.
If you got it, DM me. I'll pay you 6.
I'll give it to you for $200.
I'm not going to a bidding war with you, Bob.
Sorcerer told me he's making Tookie bagels. Okay. Shuli, you would know delusions when you see them, wouldn't you? Dues payer. Thank you, Dom. Big fan. Matt McHale, I was thinking the Mount Rushmore of the Dabbleverse, but Four Horsemen works as well. Great show, boys. Thank you, Matt. Good to see you, buddy. KFT in the house. John, we pray you show up to DabbleCon 2. See you in August, boys. And Potato. Can we get a ramp for Quad? Hey, John, how's the gym membership going? DJT24. Let's go. Dr. Krieger, drunk Mercedes driver with cat swerving down I-40. Yeah, that was the other thing we were talking about yesterday. Where will the car break down? Where,
The air conditioning go.
You got to love John because he got his car detailed, but I bet he hasn't changed the oil in 5 years.
Amazing.
He got his car detailed. He hasn't vacuumed his home.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Since he lived there.
You think when that woman Maria was cleaning, he goes, "Do you do cars too?"
Yeah.
Call Karl gay all you want. He's the only one of you man enough to review One Too Many, that piece of shit. Hey, man.
That's not easy work, by the way, watching that movie. I've watched it multiple times to do these reviews. It's a lot.
Some men run into a burning building and some men call 911. That's just how it is. Caitlin Clark uses her tampon to guide. Dorby, yesterday you guys breezed right over Stuttering John saying he would have Hitman Dan with him when confronting KB.
Yeah.
Really shows what Stuttering John's made of. Well, those two sniff buddies go back a long way. And when it comes to any kind of fighting, that's his security blanket, Hitman Dan. He needs somebody to hide behind.
But I thought he just wanted to have a conversation with Kevin. He declared that I'm going to go to Kevin's place and I'm going to wait for him to come downstairs. I don't know what his plan is, but he wants to have Kevin say what he was saying about John on his show to his face, which I don't know Kevin as well as you do, Bob, but I'm guessing Kevin would be fine with doing that.
No, I mean, I don't think so.
You don't think so? You don't think Kevin would
don't
tell
think
John
so.
to his face that
No.
he's a loser?
Hold on. Hypothetical question. Kevin's elevator door opens. Kevin's about to walk out. He sees John waiting outside. What does Kevin Brennan do, in your opinion, bro?
Go back inside.
Go back in the elevator.
The guy has been working out for 6 days straight now. And, I mean, come on.
Good point.
Everybody on that fucking trip on the way home, where he's going, should be scared because he's going to show up, and a lot of people that work out for 6 days basically go around beating people up.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, Brennan's the least intimidating on his list, and that's the one he's bringing reinforcements to.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you heard Melton's offer that he made John on Twitter. You have to see it. It may not work, but he basically is trying to make things right. If you can find that. I don't even know if we can play it, but I mean,
that good, huh?
Oh my God, Joe, look at it and tell me if it could even be played.
Melton's so funny because he's like a little kid where he actually has hope that John will show up to his house. He's all excited about it. He's been texting. I think I was talking about this before he came on, Bob. He's been texting me. He's like, "Do you think John's going to come to my house today? Do you think he's going to show up?" Like, no, definitely not. Like, he wants it to happen so badly.
Well, you gotta see the video he put up. Oh
sorry, kiddo. Santa's coming next year, not this year. Apologize. He won't be here. John gets dehydrated in a plane and ends up in the ER. How would he make it cross country in a car? Exactly. Happy days. Doesn't make sense. Cubnadian. Imagine gaining recognition for jamming a mic in someone's face and embarrassing them only to have the non-comedic thinnest skin ever. FSJ. That is pretty wild. Kip. Why does Cardiff have backup singers? Also, mic arms are dirt cheap, especially with a senior discount, Bob.
Good point.
No, I got another one. We're going to put it together for tonight.
You still have the new one we got you that you haven't even put together?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, okay. Thank God she's back. Some stuff's going to get done at that house. Nick, thank you for $10, my friend. Dang Lizard, Stuttering John admitting to still teaching revealed a new level of delusion. Caught a glimpse of it when I told him either you lied to us or Royce about Mensa, Stuttering John. That's for you to figure out. Nobody believed he was. Nobody believed he was.
No,
And-
nobody did.
Right. And if you didn't figure out, then we're the idiots. Even though we figured it out. The great Johnny Russo, my man. Spare Me, Anthony Cumia's new book coming out next month. Stuttering John will die alone in Florida 48 to 72 hours before any wellness check. 8 hours when the cat's dying on this buffoon buffet. Stuttering John ends up as a feline fecal matter in the kitty litter he never cleans. Skull, spare me.
Would it be crazy if I'm the one who discovers this? Like,
Oh
I have
my
to go
God.
over to his house and say, like, no one's heard from John in a few days. He's not broadcasting. So I drive over there and knock on the door. And I'm like, oh, shit, he's lying on the ground in the kitchen. Fuck.
Yeah, the neighbors tell you, oh, there's a better smell coming out of the house.
Yeah, it's gotten much better.
We need you to wellness check on your mortal enemy.
Yeah. Let's talk about this real quick because so John, he's saying that he's got this big thing in the works. Someone's in a lot of trouble, and not you, Shuli, but you're on the list too. Obviously,
Sure.
Going to jail for life, as you know. But John keeps saying, and I haven't. He knows who he is. And I haven't said anything, and I'm not going to say anything. And then he makes it very obvious it's Vince the lawyer. So
Right.
John has this thing where he says that Vince the lawyer tried to break into his house in Florida. Is that what John thinks he's going to get Vince arrested for? What is this?
No, it's some sort of and Frog, you know what it is. It's like some sort of conduct thing for lawyers where it's basically it's like a nothing slap on the wrist from what I've understood, right, Frog?
Yeah, I think he's filing like a formal complaint with the Bar Association or something.
Oh, I mean, Vince is not practicing law. It's very obvious. Between the Muttering Jay post and his own stupid show, he has no time to practice law anymore.
That's what I was saying. I don't think he's even doing it anymore.
Yeah,
so
he doesn't care.
He doesn't. No. But John sure does, and that
Yeah.
he's making it his crown jewel. Wait till he gets these letters. Wait. I don't fly. Oh, it's Mr. T-Head. I don't fly, losers. Yanks. Good to see you, Yanks. FedEx just delivered me 2 famous cats from California. Once they detox, they are willing to come on the show for the right price. Who's the first to get John's cats on? Gigi Allen had cleaner fingers than John. Thank you, Quincy. Yes, Frog? Oh, were you saying something, Frog, or was that Cardiff? I heard a
That was
voice.
not me.
I'm having a stroke. John's big fucking tits. Will DabbleCon 2 be live streamed or available to watch later? I'll be at Fort Novacell pinning aviator wings on my son that week. Fort Novacell.
We'll see. We'll try. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll look into it.
We're definitely planning on filming it, so we'll see what we can do with that.
Hi, boys. Correcting John here. I live in the UK. I sometimes find myself steaming mad that a man I've never met is trying to get the idea of a potato. What has happened to me?
You're not alone. You're not alone in this weird Dabbleverse.
Well,
Yeah,
didn't
he's
John.
Yeah.
When John brought Brian Karam on, didn't he bring him on to show him the video of me lying about him,
Yes.
saying that he didn't I need you to come and watch this potato on the internet.
He didn't even explain. I want to show you something. I want to play you something. He didn't even explain. He goes, "Just come on. I got to ask you something. I got to ask you something."
I said before I'd pay $1,000 to hear John's conversation at the pub after we debated each other. No, never mind. I take that back. I want $1,000 to hear what Brian and Richard Ojeda talk about when John's not around. That would be an amazing guy. By the way, if those guys started the show together where they stopped talking about Trump and just talked about John, I'm paying for whatever tier the highest tier is.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. 100%. 100%.
I can't hear that now without
I know.
thinking a claw. 100%, sir.
100%, sir. Where were you? Where were you, Corey Feldman, when I was the comeback king? The "where were you" screaming was so great. Kretz boxes used to be like Altoid tins, and Poors would use them as wallets. I'm the same age as Stuttering John. Love you all. FSN, FKB. Thank you. Happy Friday, boys. Thank you, Lazy 420.
But John didn't grow up poor. Wasn't his dad like the greatest engineer to ever engineer?
Yeah.
And
the
genius.
smartest man. Yeah, smartest man to ever exist. They couldn't have been poor, right?
Hey, he was a genius. He got the hell out of there.
Smacked the shit out of him.
I swear to you, I've heard him say his dad was a TV repairman.
Really?
Like in the past. Yes, I know he said.
Did he also fall off a ladder and become paralyzed? Like, what story is he telling?
Antenna repairman,
okay.
a TV repairman.
Do you think there's a cable guy thing happening here with John sometimes, where like old episodes of TV shows will now become stories of his life?
Did I ever tell you about this 3-hour tour when I was on an island?
My dad would walk in, hit the jukebox.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Chip Douglas. How's it going? I think Stuttering John's memory is like the kids' game telephone.
Yes.
You're 100% right, Dang. 100%.
Yes. It just a couple things change every year. And then by the time he gets into 58 years old, he's batting 250 in Little League as the MVP.
But think about what an amazing specimen he is. He can play the game of telephone all by himself.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Nobody else can do that.
But his whole talk is with the people that he knows online.
Yes.
He's on the phone with them all day talking about this is all he's talking about. And that's crazy.
It's one of the things that, in my mind, I have no doubt that he is a whack packer. He falls under you regret giving them your phone number. You know, that is a whack packer.
Shuli, he might be the greatest whack packer of all time. And I don't say that lightly.
There is a debate.
There is a debate out there. We all love Eric. We all love Hank.
Beetle.
Beetle, of course, is in that list. But no one has brought us more entertainment in the long term than Stuttering John for being a whack packer. Because imagine, think about this. I know people are going to say, Karl, that's crazy. He's not the greatest whack packer.
It's not.
Imagine if Howard Stern had, let's say your favorite is Beetlejuice. Imagine if Beetlejuice was on every day.
Right.
You'd be like, all right, we get it. Beetlejuice is dumb, you know? But John somehow finds a way that we can talk about him every day and it's still entertaining every single time.
It's a great point. Also, the big factor, doesn't want to be in the whack pack. That's a huge factor.
That's why it's between him and Eric. Because honestly, Eric the actor was also a guy that when he called in, I wanted him to call in every episode. So,
every day.
So maybe John and Eric the actor are probably neck and neck on this one.
I'm not going to argue that. He's definitely made a run for the fucking championship right now. He is making the point. How do we get a TSN WATP field reporter to Pickwick Pub to get barfly reaction to shitheads to party?
Oh, you imagine the party they're having today.
It's a couple of things are in the works, ladies and gentlemen. Nasty Al, $20. He wants to leave cats in Robert Meyer's garage, but he never asked if he has AC or even has a garage. That's the type of thing this dummy has done. Well, it's funny you bring up the name Robert Myers because yet another name to add to the doxing list of John, doxing yet another friend, another ally.
But Robert Myers forgave him, so it's fine.
I mean, look, even before showing his phone number, he doxed him in what was just an allegation made by us over at TSN that all we said was Nebraska. That's all we said.
Yeah. Nebraska.
And he sat there and he did the whole, I'm not teaching, I'm not driving for Uber. He goes, I don't even know what that means. I've never been there. You have. But he goes, I don't know nothing about. The next day, he says, I never mailed edibles to Robert Myers.
What an idiot. What a fucking idiot.
And then on the same day, shows his DMs and Robert's phone number is there. So he gave him a double dose of
Did
doxing.
you see, I posted this on WATP this week, but John was going through a subreddit like he always is, and someone reposted his kids giving the speeches at Aaron's wedding. And John goes, got to report this. And he clicked into it and it showed his latest Reddit handle.
Yep.
And why would you stop sharing your screen when you're going to go tattletale? And you know, why is he constantly showing his screen when he's going in and doing these things? He's so stupid.
He'd be better off putting it on his phone and just holding his phone up to the screen
Right.
and just, playing it that way. He's legit stupid.
He's legit stupid. I brought this up many times, but just remember, John worked for NBC not that long ago. He should be familiar with email attachments, how to download them, and then retrieve them later. Just pointing that out. John's just like, I don't know why people send me the emails and stuff, and then they get mad when I dox them. How else am I going to show what they emailed me? So stupid.
It's true.
It really is. Wait, where were you, Epstein's mother? Where were you, bicycle shop guy from Different Strokes? Gordon Jump, by the way. Where were you, former mayor of Nashville, Bill Bona? Where were you? Think we've run this bit into the ground? Yes, I think we have, Woody. But thank you. I love you. Tony Baloney, why is Rocco Stut Joe Part 2 going to DabbleCon 2? Thought he was too good for the rest of the Dabbleverse. No one can fuck up a troll better than him.
Why is Rocco going? Why isn't Rocco going?
Yeah, exactly. He's got to go.
He's part of Potato Soup. If you're not watching Potato Soup, I don't know what to tell you. And then, of course, Tookie Soup as well.
But Tookie did say that if he lives long enough, he will be at DabbleCon too. So.
Very good. All right. Yeah, Tookie's not
Godspeed.
for this world.
Godspeed.
He's only got 2 years, maybe.
Pickles Melendez got banned again for asking if the giant mark in the middle of his forehead was for Ash Wednesday. His skin is paper thin these days. Yeah.
Brutal.
He's hurting. He's hurting. Where were you, Shuli, when WWY was invented? I don't know, Ron. I don't know. Karl, you give him too much credit. Not MapQuest. He has AAA Trip Pick. It's a trip picture. You flip page after page. Also, he did go to AAA for his driver's license. True.
That's a great point. MapQuest. What am I thinking? He went to AAA and he goes out. I need to transport 2 cats to New York City. What's your advice? And they went, sir, it's not what we do here.
We don't kill animals here.
Yeah. We can't be a part of this.
You need to have an annual membership with AAA to get those triptychs. There's no way he has an annual membership.
Every business he's getting a day pass for. The gym, AAA,
Yeah, right.
you know.
Give me one of everything.
Pat Shan, love all you guys. Don't get to watch live a lot, but always catch up. I find this so entertaining. I question my life choices. We all do, Pat.
I would love to know, everyone in England and Europe who
Yeah.
watches the show, I'd love to know how they caught on to the Stuttering John
yeah.
stuff. It's fascinating to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of people across the pond watching this shit, man.
I've talked to so many people through DMs. Now, I'm not going to be like John, like this guy at the pub. No, I talked to people at DMs who never watched Howard once.
Yeah.
Right.
And this has got them going the other way. Now they're going backwards and watching Howard.
I've gotten so many notes from people saying, I never knew who Stuttering John was until I watched WATP. And John likes to think that, like, oh, we're all jealous of his success. He's so famous. That's why we make fun of him. It's not the case.
Nate G, Stuttering John not just working out, doing the Kate Meany workout. Well, who isn't these days? Hello. Yeah. John would pull a Pee Wee Herman. Whoever knows the potato's true identity doesn't deserve the $500.
That's the thing, Daddy.
I got to get going, guys. Good
All right,
seeing
love you, Bobby. I'll see you tonight.
See you
7
tonight.
o'clock. Uncle
Bye-bye.
Rico.
See you, Bobby.
Bye-bye.
Cardiff, a restraining order after John's threats would be a slam dunk. Slam drunk. Dunk. Thank you.
First of all, there's 2 F's in Cardiff. So your super chat is void and null.
I think we're going to file our own cease. We're going to send him our own cease and desist as soon as I know where this fucking idiot lands. Guys, have you all forgotten when in AC Stubby asked KB if he needed some muscle? I'm still fucking laughing. Thanks for the laugh, guys. Thank you. What now? And yes, I do remember that. Yeah. Any thoughts about Stuttering John going to the gym? I say it's an end game with Kate Meany in mind. She's his date to the wedding. You know he wants to close the deal. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he said that many times. He's got to get into shape for the ladies. He was also talking about his slump on his show yesterday. He's been in a bit of a slump. But then immediately, because this is how John's mind works, started making excuses. But I've been substitute teaching, and then after that, I podcast, and after that, the Yankees game is on. How could I possibly also get laid?
Go ahead.
He's been bragging about now all these women are coming out of the woodwork on Tinder.
That's what he said too. He's like, now that I'm leaving California, all these chicks want to fuck me. Okay.
Well, what's funny is the one chick he mentioned, and he goes, yeah, there's one Asian broad in San Francisco. And I'm like, how big is that radius? You're in the valley, and this chick's in San Francisco that wants to
make sure to stop at 7-Eleven and get some wine. I don't have any in the house on the way.
I know he's on like 3 dating sites right now.
Well, we know Match.com.
Match.com, Tinder, and he's on something else.
Yeah.
Grinder. Thank you. I forget that one.
You know what John said yesterday that it blew, on his show yesterday, it blew me away. I heard it today, but I made a mental note of it. John was talking about when he left the Tonight Show and he wasn't paying this is not what he was saying, but I'm filling in the blanks.
Right.
He left the Tonight Show. The Tonight Show ended. He was unemployed. Started driving for Uber for a little bit. Wasn't paying child support, selling the house, all that kind of stuff. He literally said he hit his rock bottom. I've never heard John say that before. That was a weird thing for him to say, because at any point could you talk to John and say, "Is this your rock bottom?" Of course he wouldn't admit that. And now he's looking back at it and saying that was his rock bottom, but he climbed out and now he's doing amazing again. He's, the most famous and wealthy guy in the Dabbleverse. But was that crazy that all of a sudden he's bringing up rock bottoms? Where did that come from?
But it kind of explains
from an email he got from his kids.
Right. But it explains like the two Johns, right? Like you have to be somewhat charming to have friends in the first place, right? And I think John off mic and in a scene where he's just drinking and hanging out is probably a fun hang and funny guy, believe it or not, to be around when he's not trying to impress everybody.
Right.
When he's not putting all
when
this
does that
shit
happen?
on.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, it's a guess. I'm hoping it shuts off at some point, but like I can see if he was real, he'd have more fans. He really would. If he just sat there and been like, "I'm in a fucking shithole. What do you want me to do?"
I said this back when he was talking to Elisa Jordana about IRL streaming. I'm like, this is it, John. You are going to make, like, all these guys have gone to 7 days a week. So Kevin Brennan, Stuttering John, they realize the only way to make money is I have to be on getting super chats. So why not, instead of sitting down on your couch and spending 2 or 3 hours broadcasting, just live your life and turn on your phone like Elisa does and just start making money throughout the day, all day long, grocery shopping, going to the doctors, going to the pub.
I was saying hypothetically, if this road trip is for real, imagine if he set it up where he could fucking get viewers to subscribe to something to watch him on this road trip.
I'd stop sleeping.
Yeah.
If this guy was IRL streaming 24/7, I'd be like, all right, sleeping was fun while it lasted. I'm done with that now. We're moving on.
Oh, just him with the cat on his shoulder while he's fucking driving.
Just him dozing off as he's driving down the interstate. Just like, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Oh, we woke up. Fuck.
We're all watching the shit tank tonight.
Has Stuttering John admitted he's retired from showbiz? Not yet.
That's a good question. He's moving to Florida. Well, no, I think he did say he's retiring. No, maybe it wasn't him. Maybe someone said that for him.
Yeah, that was Hollywood that retired from showbiz. Yeah.
And he can't. The strike's still going on. So wait for the strike to wrap
His agent told him that.
Donna G. Oh, cherry pie for Stacey Allen, please. She wants it.
Cherry pie.
Coming up to main stage.
For Stacey Allen Frog.
Whip it out, fold it up, stick it in.
She's my cherry pie. Ooh, I don't know the rest.
Karl, when did you? Thank you, Donna. Brian, Karl, when did you review One Too Many? Where is it?
I actually did a watch along with Tony from Hack the Movies a couple of years ago, and I think that's on our Patreon. But if you want to check out Once Over with Kaylee, my friend Lucy Typebox from Who Are These Podcasts, I did a review with her. It's on her YouTube channel, and definitely worth checking out.
Cardiff, what are the last 4 digits of your social? Asking for a friend, Dave Daffler. He seems like a solid dude.
Do they have social security numbers in Minnesota? I'm not sure they do.
Yes, I very obviously have a social security number.
Okay.
Ends in 6.
That's exactly what a liar would say.
Yeah, there's the proof.
Would love to go to DabbleCon too, but can someone guarantee less bed bugs than Hackamania?
I can't.
Yeah. Bed bugs is not my department.
It's hard to get fewer than 0.
Right.
Karl pulls out that merch trunk where it's all over.
Yeah, right.
Love you, Karl, but that shirt is gay.
Dave! How dare you? There's cacti on this shirt.
1971 Puffy gifting us 5. Thank you very much. Clyde, Guy's a proud vet. We got a lot out here. Shout out to the vets. It's about his delusions of winning. He will continue to lie in order to protect that delusion. So long as he doesn't admit defeat, he thinks he is outsmarting people. Machiavellian logic. Very, very good point.
Which is why it's both frustrating and fascinating to watch this man on a daily basis. It's crazy. Because this week especially, and, we've kind of gotten away from this topic, but the Dr. Steve stuff just backfired on him completely. It was just the worst move ever. Like, he decided to take out a pawn with his queen. Yeah. And it was just like, what are you doing? This is a bad move. And so instead of John recognizing that and doing the only rational thing and saying, I was a little heated on Dr. Steve. He's fine. It's not a big deal. He literally decided that was the cross he was going to die on. Why? Why would you do that?
And he had a chance to get out of it. They gave him an out. Him an out. He took it, and then he's like, "Oh, you wanted me to take it. Well, guess what? No out, no more." It's unbelievable.
But that's the personality disorder that makes him unique to this world. There's a lot of little cows out there. There's a lot of weirdos on social media, but I haven't found one like Stuttering John.
We all agreed. Cumia as well. He should be studied in universities for years to come.
I'm sure most people know who Chris Chan is.
Yes.
Christine Chandler. And that person is a locale for many years. Kiwi Farms discovered that person. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl these days. He fucked his mom. He literally had sex with his 80-year-old mother. And even he's not as interesting as Stuttering John Melendez.
Yeah. You get to a point with that guy where you're like, I've seen enough.
Yeah. I'm sorry. John's more interesting. I don't know why.
Hey, Ma, I got an idea.
You should have heard Patrick Melton on the show. So Patrick Melton's trying to bait John, and he was explaining having sex with John's mom, and he had the funniest thing. He was talking about shaving her pubic hair, and he described it as her silverfish-looking pubic hair, and I almost fell off my bike listening.
But hold on, let me ask you this: did he put up a picture of her with KY jelly in the same room? Because apparently that's the be-all, end-all.
No, he didn't have me with my frosted tips next to her or anything like that.
Okay. So, then he should be fine. Then John won't get upset, With Stuttering John's attack on quads, need EDR to befriend Stuttering John now. Oh, that's a nice little mission there.
Dude, like EDR's been messaging me this week. Like, he also cannot believe what John is doing. It's so bad because we all go through it. EDR is a compassionate, very nice guy.
Yeah.
And we all go through that thing where we're like, maybe we're being too hard on this guy. He's just trying to live his life. But then he does shit like he did this week. And he's just like, fuck you. I made a video on YouTube this week. It's like, this is the most hateable John has ever been.
Correct.
Fuck him.
Correct. Happy Flag Day to all except Cardiff, of course. Bam. Dixon Signer. Many shows get worse as they get older, but this only gets better. Thank you, Dixon.
Yeah, this is not the Howard Stern show here, sir.
We're not going woke at any point. Cardiff, what was the name of your first pet?
What street did you grow up on, Cardiff?
I'm thinking he might have nefarious intentions, Dave Daffler.
Yeah, what's this all about?
Would you rather, asks Why You Trashing Me. A, Dan release tape of Stuttering John trashing night. B, force Stuttering John to take a lie detector test given by Ed Torian. C, live stream Stuttering John's family interview.
Ooh. Wow. Go ahead, Shuli.
I would pick B.
I was thinking B too. That's the most entertaining one, right?
Yeah, because I'm not looking to trash his kids or like goof on his kids being trash. I want to be able to ask that motherfucker questions. And
he was being deceptive. He was being deceptive.
If it's B, who gets to write the questions?
We all do.
We all get to write it. Yeah. He was deceptive and my machine broke.
I don't know, but seeing the coping that would happen in C, seeing the excuses that would come out of him in C.
Yeah.
I've heard some of them.
How long before he's yelling about a potato?
Yeah, right. Puppet. What do you want me to do? There's a cookie monster goofing on me on the internet.
I was telling Cumia that, the source that I had at one of the schools he subbed at, the parent of the kid was telling me that John gives them all his credits. And then one of the kids asks him, "What's Uncle Rico?" Because they start typing his name in YouTube, and that's the first thing that comes up.
That's awesome.
I
love it.
Oh,
It still amazes me every time I type Stuttering John into YouTube, and you got to scroll a while before you find Stuttering John's channel.
Yep.
You have to add channel to his name to get to his channel. Otherwise, you will get to everyone but John. He goes to AAA for a license, then calls AA when his car breaks down on the side of the road. Boom! Mark Atkinson checking in with a zing.
Oh, that was a great 1-800-Dabbler.
Yeah.
Another great creator in this universe had him calling into Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yes.
Have you heard that one?
Yeah, I was listening to that. It
They were
was
playing
fantastic.
on Drew Lane's podcast. They're catching on to that shit too. It was really funny. The poor
He's
guy
doing
has
great
to stay
stuff.
on the line. You know,
Yes.
it's AA. He's got to stay on with them.
If John did actually drive coast to coast, how many DUIs drinking under the influence would he get? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. One is all you need, right? Shuli won't be laughing when Matlock shows up at the front door. Told you it wasn't legal. Zoom dues pay ya. Yeah, I can't wait. Hey, Cardiff, if John truly has your information, would you do a reveal episode to take the wind out of his sail?
Oh, interesting
Probably.
question.
I'd probably beat him to the punch.
Yeah, you'd be like David Letterman when that guy was trying to blackmail him.
Yeah.
Carter just shows up on his show one day, no potato filter. He goes, "Look it, I like to have sex with interns. I don't know what to tell you. You know, they're
Right.
hot. They're young, they're hot. It's creepy,
It's
but
what
what
it
are you
is.
going to do?" And John's like, "I didn't even have that information. Why is he telling us this?"
Or you could do the Hugh Grant approach where you just bring a hooker on with you and tell
Yeah.
a story.
No,
Or Eddie
actually,
Murphy talking about guys' feet. Oh, wait, that didn't happen.
I will yell and scream and threaten to dox people.
There you
if he
go.
does it.
Rock bottom. Stuttering John was merely thinking about Ray.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh.
Maybe that's what he's talking about.
Bradley, in John's mind, his road trip's going to be a reenactment of Natural Born Killers. Who is his Mallory in this fever dream?
Kate Meany.
Yeah, or
Obviously.
anybody that's along the highway.
Yeah.
John's dad also owned a pizzeria, made sure your radio had proper modulation and ham hands. There you go. So John's father is now a mixture of everybody's dad.
Yeah. I like the idea of, so John's making this road trip and there's a hitchhiker
Yes.
who turns him down. Like
Oh
he pulls
my
over to
God.
get in, they're just like, "Nah, I'll get the next one. That's fine."
Pull over. I'll get out. Thanks.
I'm in the middle of the desert, but I'll take my chances. That's fine.
Fucking hitchhiker. I mean, what the fuck? Thoughts on John's pie bending PI being his brother-in-law? Yeah. Susanner's brother.
Which is one of the friends he listed when he was listing all of his friends, his brother-in-law.
Yeah. Adopted, though, not related to Susanner. But I'd be curious if what he would think of what John says and thinks about Susanner present day. I would think her brother would be interested in that.
Well, John doesn't say bad things about Susanner, does he?
Oh, hold on.
Oh.
Let me clip.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it depends. Where do we rank the C word these days?
Good point.
Is that bad? Mr. Spittle, when Stuttering John finally goes to the big pub in the sky, are we spreading his ashes at the Coors Brewery? No, but
I say Coors Field. Let's hit whoever the left fielder is that day.
let's be honest. We all got to go to the service because nobody else is coming. So we at least have to show up.
That's an interesting thought. Like, what's the over-under on the attendance at John's funeral?
Under. Whatever that number is.
Yeah, whatever that
under.
number is under.
Ooh. Stuttering
Are we
John
counting-
eulogies at DabbleCon too?
Oh.
That's fun. That's a fun one.
Oh. Well, now, are we counting John at the funeral? Because that may change the over-under, depending on what the number is.
Yeah, we got to count him. Yeah.
All right.
But he shows
All
up
right.
late.
It's an open casket. It's the best he's ever looked.
He shows up late. I love that. Brother Ted, I demand as a future PDP guest, Artie Quitter. Listen, we're not turning him down. It's not like Artie wants to come on. We're like, maybe next week, champ.
Did Artie resurface? I saw a cameo. I don't know if it was old or not. Did Artie
I think
resurface
it's old.
recently? Okay, yeah.
I don't
That's what
think
I
he's been
figured.
doing anything. Yeah. Jake Fire, Shuli, if he does show up at your front door, what will you do? Introduce him to the wife and kids, or try to speak to him like a man? Well, first of all, Lila, my dog, will not be friendly to him. Number one, she her job is to protect. Number one, so Lila will be a problem for him. Then, no, I'm not interested in talking to him. If he shows up on my property, he's made a horrible mistake, and he will pay for that mistake. So, again, it comes down to this fucking guy approached me in that hotel because he thought I'd be the easiest fucking one. And in this list of people that he wants to go visit, I guarantee you he really wants to come to my place because he thinks I'm going to be just some fucking scared little pushover.
He doesn't, and he won't. Anytime John says he's going to do something, he's not going to do it. There's no fucking way he's going to your house. The only thing that's semi-credible, because John's such a weasel and a bitch, is the idea that he would try to get law enforcement involved with you homeschooling. I love that he thinks that you're the professor at this homeschool.
So
like you're the one up there teaching social studies. Like, no, Shuli's the podcaster at this school. He's not the social studies teacher, idiot.
Well, people ask me, like, how do you not lose your mind over this guy just saying all this shit?
Yeah.
And I'm like, because it's so ridiculous.
It's so stupid.
It's so stupid that I would never correct him in a million years. Okay, I got a university here in my house, John. Whatever you want to believe, absolutely, run with it. Call the homeschool police immediately.
Also, I knew people who dropped out of school in high school. They were the coolest people. Like all the people who dropped out, like those are the guys you wanted to hang out with on the weekends. I don't know why you guys think that's a bad thing.
It's one of my favorite qualities about my parents is I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And they're like, all right, whatever. We don't want to do this either. Fine.
Yeah. You're not going to be a banker, so what the fuck? What's the point?
Yeah. I got to roam the earth. I'm out. What, you want to say something, Cardiff?
Well, again, what's worse, the guy who drops out of high school and ends up podcasting, or the guy that went to NYU and ends up podcasting? But
nothing about NYU in the cease and desist, mind you.
Amazing.
Oh, interesting. That's actually very telling.
And it listed him as an educator, which is why he had to come out the next day and admit to it, because we showed the letter on Uncle Rico, and the attorney said that he worked as an educator. So he fucked him. He doxed himself yet again.
But it's funny too. The tweet resurfaced recently on Dabblers Anonymous that he put out in like 2019, trying to get you fired from the Stern Show.
Yeah.
But he still maintains you started it. You started Uncle
you drew
Rico.
first blood.
I remember one of your first appearances on WATP. I don't want to talk about John. No, I don't want to talk about John, Karl. I don't want to talk about John. Well before Uncle Rico started, well before any of this, he was trying to get you fired from the Stern Show as being the mole.
Yeah.
Who are these podcasts? The Holocaust wasn't real.
Shuli's first appearance on WATP.
Welcome to Who Are These Podcasts? White Power.
Top 10 fastest cooling housing markets. Number 3 is Cape Coral.
Fuck off!
And not to mention, it's currently flooded.
It's not flooded. How dare you?
Recycled sewer water at the tap. Whatever. It's fine. It's all good.
I will say water was a problem. We had to pay a lot of money for our water system there.
Cardiff, what's your favorite dessert?
I guess I should say cherry pie. I don't know.
Got VIP tickets to DabbleCon 2. Can't wait to see everyone.
It's gonna be a fun weekend. I feel bad for people who are gonna miss it.
And that was so when we just did that New Jersey and Long Island run, and there's so many fans out on the East Coast, and it was just so funny to be standing there in the bar before the show, and you walk in and the guy's like, Dixon Cider. You're like, Dixon Cider. You're hugging people. It's a blast. It's in the dead of winter, -4, we had a blast. This one's gonna be ridiculous.
When we did Hackamania out in Vegas a couple weeks ago, thankfully someone came up with the idea of name tags. So it was great to be able to just walk around and be like, oh, it's the Great Sea Moose. Oh, it's Peter Sky Parker. Oh, it's T.O. Hanks. It's like everyone's there and hanging out, and we all know each other from the chats and the different things. So, no, it's a lot of fun.
It's a weird family world.
It is.
Cardiff, what was your first car? Dave's on a mission.
You know what? That is actually a funny story, but I'll save it for my show.
Oh, thanks.
My first car, you would never guess.
Yugo. Mazda Miata.
Pretty close. It's a little smaller than that.
Cardiff. Wow. Cardiff, what is your mom's maiden name? Asking for Dave Daffler. They're not teaming up. Gary Haggerty. Cardiff, what's your mother's maiden name? Oh, hey, Don.
Egar.
Sorry, just not a fan of his had to vent just once. It's all good. You can vent, buddy. Potato, you say how you have info that will destroy Drunky. He's doubled down on his attack on Dr. Steve, and he's openly threatening your wife now. What's it going to take for you to release what you have? TSN forever.
Mr. Potato Head, master of disguise.
Karl, I'm a big fan. You and me are the only dudes that sit down to pee. 100%. 100%. Mr. Egar, it has come to our attention that you have been removing tags off of pillows. Cease and desist. Never.
Just pronounce your name Egar?
Egar, either one.
I didn't know it was interchangeable like that.
Well, I never correct people. They say it either one.
Yeah, but you read that.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I read it as Egar, sometimes Egar. It depends.
I'm so confused.
Karl.
I'm so confused right now.
Well, you let me wear that shirt and let's see how not confused you are.
Oh, look at he had to go right to the shirt comment. See that? He had to hit below the belt.
I can't not see it. Like the sun shining in. I can't not see it. John uses the same name for his ex as he did for certain fireworks. Wow. Interesting coincidence that the day after TSN reveals the cease and desist that confirms Stuttering John is still a teacher, he decides to come clean.
He was going to do that anyway. He was planning.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's like Quad was going to give up the,
yeah, right.
Do the prank.
I know. I love when Quad goes. I mean, his last appearance on BYB wasn't very good. We were probably planning on ending this thing anyway. Like, were there other appearances that were good? I'm confused.
When Stuttering John is in a group, Artie and Cumia, for example, he deflects banter back to the story he's telling as he doesn't have the wit to fight back. This suggests he's aware of his comedic inadequacies or just deluded. I think you hang out with guys like Cumia and Artie on a show, you learn pretty fast where you are on the food chain, and you just pick your spots and you let the masters do their job. That's my opinion.
I don't know, man. I think he's unaware. One of his favorite things to do.
No, he's totally unaware, and he thinks he's on that level, 100%.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
100%. Because one of the things, because I can't do the impression.
I can't stop saying it.
I know. Because one of the things John loves to do is go back and rewatch his appearances in the Howard Stern show from E! or whatever else, Howard TV. And he sits there and he watches with this childlike, gleeful grin when people are trashing him, and they're just like, yeah, but Baba Booey's teeth. It's just like, got him again.
It's creepy, man.
I was watching Gary eat shrimp yesterday, and he's like, oh, I'm so
like people watch videos of their kids growing up like that. Not
right.
of themselves
not
on
of
the radio.
themselves getting mocked on the Howard Stern show.
Ham Hands, wait, what did you say about me? I'm no Melendez. Check yourself. You got it. No one ever would say that. Rodney, Cardiff, John's going to barbecue your ass in molasses. He's not worried. WYR, John, take IQ test or see him watch Jeopardy.
Oh, would you rather?
Okay.
I would love to watch John watch Jeopardy because he claims to know every answer. I bet he doesn't know a single answer.
I agree. Like, aced it again, 0. If he shows up, Shuli, aim for his spine. Make him Quad John, irony.
I actually have the perfect drop for that.
Yeah, so last night I was closing up the bar when some young punk comes in and tries to stick me up.
Whatever did you do, Mo?
Well, it could have been a real ugly situation, but I managed to shoot him in the spine. Yeah, I guess the next place he robs better have a ramp.
Mo at the NRA meeting.
I love it. Love it. Already suggested DabbleCon 3, we put the fun in funeral, but maybe I was too optimistic. that he'll survive DabbleCon 2, now run by the Jew, Dang Lizard. Thank you.
I wish Dang Lizard could be there. I want to meet Dang.
Yes, he's on my list. Cardiff, if you're looking to make quick 500, I have an opportunity for you, says Silence Do Good.
DM me.
All
500
right.
American? Huh?
Yeah, goes a long way in Minnesota. All right, Shuli, Karl, Cardiff. What do you need me to cook for DabbleCon 2? I can either try and make something before or at the Airbnb on Friday night. Can't wait. He's a real chef, this guy.
Nice.
Yeah. We'll think of something.
Beer can chicken.
Yeah, right. That is the appropriate meal.
Remember we were going to have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar roast beef sandwiches
That's right, yeah.
at the first DabbleCon? Cardiff, what's your dad's maiden name? What say you, Menser John? If John takes this case across state lines, Rico Act. Cardiff, what hospital were you born in? Have you seen Donna G?
Jesus Christ.
Cupcakes Corner with American Cupcake. I drive cross country for a living. If he's driving, gas alone will bankrupt him, and his cats will not make it.
Okay, so let's talk about that real quick because
Yeah.
John on the show yesterday is bragging about he threw out a number. He's making more money than everyone else. Kevin, Brennan, myself, everyone on Shuli's network. He's making $16,000 a month now.
Well, it changed 20 minutes later, though.
Oh, it did. What did he say 20 minutes later?
20 minutes later, I'm making 10 to 14 G's. Like it was just it was a very different number. Like it was very exact the first time he said it.
Yeah.
And then the next time it was a range. Like
okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I wanted to ask because we all remember when John in January was very excited about his December. And he said, I made $5,000 and I can prove it. Pinky, just ask. I'll show you the screenshot. I can prove I made $5,000 in December. And all of us went, even Frog, who's poor and lives in a trailer park, went,
Thank
that's
you.
like $60,000 a year. I mean, what are we talking about here? That's not
Right.
a great job that you have. And so now John is making $16,000 a month or whatever he's pretending to make. How is that possible that he's increased his income 3x since December, his best month?
Well, I mean, in all honesty, if let's say I don't think he's 16, but I think he's making more, and I'll tell you why. And I'm not trying to be an asshole, but
no, he's 7 days a week. He's getting super chats. Right. Yeah.
But I think the birth of Menser math and those compilations of people being able to see them fuck with him.
Yeah.
I think that's added a lot.
Which is why it's so crazy that now he's blocking all the people who are insulting him with super chats. He's like, I don't need your $2. No, you don't need his $2, but you need the other 100 people who keep giving you $2 every episode, John. I mean, how do you not know that?
Yeah.
Oh, he also said on his show that none of us could pass the C-Best.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say, I was going to do this on our recent Patreon episode, but then Aaron Imholt was talking shit about me, so I had to talk about that. But we found like practice C-Best tests.
Yeah.
And I'm going to review those on WATP soon because you can't believe how easy this test is.
I think
all of us could pass it so easily. Like literally one of the questions was Susie took 5 math tests. She got a 78 and then an 82 and then an 80 and then an 86. And, it goes through the whole thing. It's like, what was the average of her 5 tests?
Right.
It's literally like add up 5 numbers and then divide by 5. This is the thing that John's like, none of you guys can even pass this test. Like, no, it's pretty easy. We can do it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if I could do it coming in as hungover as John was when he took it, but that's still, you got to give him props for that.
When he was bragging about the money, though, he was rolling in his teacher money as well.
Yes, he
teacher
lumped
money
that in.
and the pension.
And the
Let's not forget.
pension.
Now he's got like 3 or 4 pensions because he's got the pension from teaching for 5 years as a substitute, which is not 5 years even close because the pandemic was 2020. So I don't know where he's coming up with
get
this.
a pension for working as a substitute for 5 years.
You wouldn't, and if you did, you'd have to pay into it. And he makes like less than $10,000 a year teaching. So how much could he be paying into a pension?
The principal might buy you a cake.
Right. I said to the guys last night, these lies should be told in front of monkey bars on a playground.
Yes.
Because it's just, my dad has a pension from such and such. It's like, shut the fuck up. Cardiff, are you a gambling potato? That's doo-doo, baby.
Promo code CLNS50.
That's right.
Yeah, go ahead, Karl. What were you going to say?
Well, it's like, you're talking about on the playground, making this up. but it's because that kid's dad is substitute teaching, and they're like, "Wow, your dad's a loser."
Yeah.
Your dad's substitute teaching. Yeah, but he's getting a pension, and he makes so much money, and he got to do a long-term sub for Miss Riley 2 months ago.
Bob's Wet Back gifting one. Thank you, Bobby.
How are you, penis? I haven't seen you in a while.
Thoughts on Kate Meany being John's date for the wedding? I mean, look, there's a lid for every pot out there, folks.
That's right.
You know, who are you to judge?
Listen, and I know that Kate Meany gets very excited at weddings. You know, first Alex Stein took advantage, and now Stuttering John Melendez.
No wonder he invited her to a wedding and not like a movie or something. Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense, right?
Wow.
I have a feeling it's going to be a less star-studded than Chrissy Mayer's wedding, but either way, it'll be fine.
Oh, don't worry. John will announce his and her arrival, I'm sure. I have something coming for you, Karl. Says Pony Power 2.
Pony Power 2 did the amazing 3D prints of some Stuttering Johnsons, I think.
Didn't we
calls
get those?
them?
Didn't we get something, Frog?
Yeah, we got one of those. We got a
you
John
did?
dildo. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Nice.
DabbleCon 2. Come touch our dildo. Thank you. In a Rut gifting 5. Thank you, In a Rut. Appreciate that.
He looks anxious.
He does. You guys need to review the weakest dink bit Howard did. Stuttering John didn't know anything. Oh, I like that. We'll get on it. The race is on. Frog, find it before Karl. Cardiff, which picks have traffic lights? All right, Wes. God damn it.
That's good.
Should have a weight contest at DabbleCon 2. Between who?
It's already been pitched to me, but I don't think you've announced that other person.
Oh, okay. Cardiff, do you wish to be an organ donor? Yes or no?
Donate my
Repo
organ in
Cat.
your mouth.
Repo Cat, $20. Thank you. Slicks. Love you, Slicks. Thank you. Gifting a dime.
I swallow cum.
Thank me. Go.
It's the gayest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Love me. Was she talking about your shirt? Love me some potato. CWO. Cardiff World Order. So if Stuttering John makes any stops at all, he will push 2 narratives. 1, he wants an assault lawsuit. 2, he will say cowards never came outside. This piece of shit will never cross a property line. Pussy.
Correct.
And again, John, some states, the law is not in your favor showing up to somebody's house and angry and pounding on their door.
But don't let that stop you, John.
By all means.
Don't let that stop you.
Don't do any other approach either. Show up. Come in hot. Think Kate will use the baldo on Stuttering John. Oh, fingers crossed, brother. Fingers crossed.
The fuck?
Daily
Baldo
D.
thing is the weirdest thing I've ever heard
It's
of.
insane. Weirder than all the stories, than everything is that contraption. Yeah. Cardiff, would you ever buy a shirt like Karl's?
He's probably wearing this shirt right now. We don't know. It's a filter.
Nobody would. Look, we had such a busy week with John, and all anybody could talk about is that shirt. Don't ever do this again.
I'm killing it.
Listen, we're caught up. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Cardiff, of course, patreon.com/Cardiff Electric. Karl, please plug away. I'm a proud member over at WATP on YouTube.
Yeah, so whoarethese.com is the main website. And subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. We put out 2 audio shows every week. Who Are These Podcasts? It comes out every Thursday and Sunday. And, of course, our YouTube channel is at Karl WATP. And if you go over there and subscribe, hit notifications, we put out about a video a day. We just released a video this morning, a Howard Stern show. Had Tiffany Haddish on.
I was starting to listen to that today. What a horrible...
What is Howard doing? I love my buddy Andy was over here. Trucker Andy was over. And we're listening to Howard talk to this very successful, rich celebrity.
Yes.
And he's like, wasn't your life terrible? Aren't things really terrible? Aren't things rough? And she's going, well, no, actually, things worked out really well for me. Like
she goes, there's a lot of people out there with worse stories than mine.
Yeah, that was the first thing she said. And it was crazy, too, because she came into the studio, and I don't know if Howard's there or not. I don't know if she's looking at a screen or what's going on. But she came into the studio, and she goes, oh, my God, Howard, I've been listening to you since 1996. I'm so excited to finally talk to you. This is amazing. It's a dream come true. And Howard goes, yeah, your mom was a real piece of work, huh? Your dad left you? And she's like, whoa, what the fuck? Who is this for? Howard, his only conversations with adults, I think, are with therapists. And I think that he only knows the conversations about childhood and trauma. And it's crazy the way he talks to people now. His interviews are the worst interviews on the planet. Check out Who Are These Podcasts.
Highly recommend it. Jesus. Potato, anything else you want to plug besides the Patreon?
Tomorrow morning, the great Helga and possibly Lisa on Subreddit Surfing Live.
Yes, Lisa was
9
back today. I was
tomorrow.
so excited to see Lisa. The great Dr. Steve was on with Helga yesterday on that reality show. He was fantastic. That's great news.
We're going to attempt to do Am I the Asshole with Helga and Lisa, but I don't have any faith that we'll get through too many. We're just going to chat with them for about an hour and then be dabbling live and potato soup Sunday night. Be there. Father's Day edition.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Also, C-Best is pass or fail. You can't ace it.
No shit.
Very important factor. And remind us of what a child he really is. We'll see you guys later tonight on Uncle Rico. Don't forget, August 16th, 17th, DabbleCon 2, Rochester, comedy at thecarlson.com or bsshowlive.com. Get your tickets. We'll see you there. Bye, everybody. Thank you.